Hello everybody, welcome back to What's Cooking in Bert's Kitchen. Now today we're going to have some fun. We're going to make a little candy. It's something I haven't done for you guys before because I don't do a whole lot of candy making. We're going to make something today called Dulce de Coco. If you've ever been down in the islands, if you're from the islands, I've got a lot of friends that are, this stuff is everywhere. It's you walk down the beach and there's 18 guys selling cold coconut water and Dulce de Coco. It's everywhere. But even here in Florida, where we have a huge population that comes from the Caribbean islands, you don't see it anywhere. Really, the simplest stuff in the world to make. Just a few ingredients. We dump them all into a pot. You got to stand here and stir it for about 20-25 minutes so that it doesn't burn and stick to the bottom. After that, boom, you just put it out, make it into cookies. You'll be amazed at how simple it is, but it's amazingly, amazingly delicious. So let's get started. First thing we're going to need is a good pot. I use this bigger one just because it happens to be one of my favorites. You can do this in a small little saucepan. With this recipe, you're not going to need something this big. I just happen to like this. So the first ingredient in there is coconut. That's the cocoa in Dulce de Coco. And here I have about 2.5 cups of sweetened shredded coconut, the kind you buy in a bag at the local grocery store. We just dump that right in there. Here I have 1 cup of water. Dump her in. Now we're going to need some brown sugar, and I suggest you use the light brown sugar. It just makes things look a lot prettier. But the reason I didn't have this already set up is I want to show you something about it. We need 1.5 cups. This is a 1/2 cup measure. What you want to do when your brown sugar is very moist, it's got molasses in it. When you're digging it out, pack it in, because otherwise there's going to be a lot of space in there and you're not going to get your measurements right. So you want to pack it in and make sure that it's good and solid in there. And we need 1.5 cups of this. So that'll be 3 times this. There's the vast majority of our ingredients. 3 simple ingredients. Couple of more things. 1.5 tablespoons of butter. Pop her right in there. A splash of vanilla extract, or you can use coconut extract if you can find it. Give it more of a coconut flavor. And 1/4 teaspoon of ginger. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it adds such a flavor to this. It changes the entire symphony here that we're creating. Now, we want to set our stove on, say, medium to medium high, 5 or 6. If you have one of those electric deals like I do, get yourself a good wooden spoon, and you're going to need to stir. Because we've got sugar in here, and we all know sugar burns. The coconut is sweetened. It'll burn to the bottom. The water will evaporate eventually. That's what we want it to do. So this is going to take us a good 20 to 25 minutes. So now it's just a little before 11. So when I get back, I'm going to show you how to make this into our Dulce de Coco cookies. And then we just let them cool, and boom, They're ready to go. No oven, no baking, no anything other than what I'm doing right here. So please hang around. I'm going to edit this video, so you're not going to have to watch me do this for 25 minutes. But if you want to, go take a step dancing class, learn to play the sitar, whatever it takes. Then come back and see us, and we'll finish making Dulce de Coco, and you're going to be very, very happy. Okay, so it's been 20 minutes now. It's about 11:15. We're not quite ready yet, but I want to show you how it is. You see that it's gotten thick. That's your sugar cooking and your water evaporating, etc. We want to keep stirring. We've probably got about another 5 to 10 minutes to go. And then when we come back, we'll set it on the tray and make cookies out of it. Okay, so here we go. It's now completely cooked. We don't want to cook all the liquid out of there. That's going to be part of our candy. We want to get it down to this point where it's good and thick, and you can see that. So the next thing we're going to need, a sheet pan. Just make sure it's really, really clean, because we're going to put the candy right on here. You don't need to grease it. You don't need to do anything to it. Just make sure it's really, really clean. Now, you remember this from some of the cookie videos. It's, our little scoop. This keeps everything the same size. We're going to use this also today. Just basically scoop it up, get it flat against the side, set her on there, and kind of flatten her out to make it cookie style. Now, these aren't going to rise. They're not going to do anything. You can put them as close and as tight as you want. We're probably going to get a dozen and a half cookies out of this batch. Okay, so there's our last one. We got 17 out of this batch. Like I said, almost a dozen and a half. But that's the way you set them out. Just scoop them out, flatten them a little bit, and let them cool. Just let them sit for about an hour, hour and a half. They'll cool right off. Or you could stick them in the fridge for half an hour. Okay, so now they're completely cooled off. There they are. And you can see, the color that they are. It's actually kind of a pretty shade of brown, which is why you don't want to use the dark brown sugar, because this will come out a whole lot worse. They'll look almost black. So now what we'll do is we'll get ourselves a plate and a spatula, and they just come right off your cooking sheet. Boom. Just like that. And there we have a nice, beautiful plate of Dulce de Coco. Now, don't worry, they're not jawbreakers. They really aren't. They snap apart real easy. Easy to bite into. Just amazingly delicious. And you get that little hint of ginger in there, which just adds to the coconut flavor. It's brilliant. Well, look, thanks for spending time with us today. Please come back for the next episode and find out what's cooking in Bert's kitchen.